We're going to grab every calling card challenge in the campaign, including all 4 Dark Ops challenges. We will be tackling them in order based on the campaign missions and not the way that they are listed in the challenges menu. So as always, there will be timestamps down below the like and subscribe button so you can hop around to any challenge you want. With that out of the way, our first challenge is RCXDangerous, which can be completed on the first mission, Bishop Takes Rook. After rescuing Alawi, at the halfway point of the mission, a bunch of enemies will try to rush us and the game will introduce us to the RCXD. This challenge is basically a gimme, as we just need to drive the RCXD a little forward from our position and detonate it to easily blow up the 5 enemies needed for this challenge. We can quickly reload the checkpoint if we mess up though. Throughout the campaign, we will visit the safe house. During every visit, make sure to talk to everyone here. Most of them will just respond with one-liners, but some of them will open up full conversations with options to choose from. We need to have all of these conversations for the detailed Devourer challenge, but once we initiate the conversation, we can choose the exit option and still have it count. There are 9 of these conversations to have throughout our visits to the safe house, but there's no way to track which ones we miss if we do miss any, so be diligent here to avoid any replaying of the safe house visits. The first safe we can find in the game is found in the safe house. We can find it during any section of the safe house throughout the campaign, however this is the most involved safe in the game, having multiple puzzles connected to it. To start, we're going to head down into the basement for the boiler puzzle. You can just follow along with what I do on screen, but we need to restart the boiler first by turning the boiler valve twice to turn it off, then turning the fuel valve once, then we'll interact with the pilot to start it, and finally turn the boiler valve twice again to turn it back on. We'll know that we've done it right when the light on the boiler shows green and we can head into the piano room for the next step. In the piano room, we can pick up the black light, which we will use for some more steps later on, but for now, if we look around the room with the light, we can find hidden numbers and letters. These correspond to the keys on the piano in the order we have to play them in. This seems to be the same code every time, so you can just follow along with what I do on screen to open the secret door and head downstairs. There's a couple things for us to do down here, so first we're going to head down the hall and turn right to find a door locked by a keypad. We need to use the black light to see the fingerprints on the buttons, then guess the correct order of the numbers. Similar to games like Wordle, the keypad will let us know if we have a number out of place, if it's in the correct spot, or if we chose a wrong number entirely. I believe this code is random, so don't just copy mine here. Through the door, we can find a computer for another puzzle. This time we need to create words based on the cipher at the bottom of the screen. The 4 words we have to make will always be the same, however I believe their order might be different. The words are bunker, room, holding, and open. After that computer, we can head back out to the hallway and turn right, then head through the door to the left and lockpick the next door. This is a simple mini game where we need to move the pick left or right to find the correct spot, then hold it in place 3 different times. We'll do this throughout the story, so you should get used to this kind of mini game anyway. Inside this interrogation room is a key. We're going to grab that and then head back into the hallway again, taking a right turn and entering the next door on our left. In this creepy room, we need to interact with the radio and reset the sound wave using the left and right knob until both waves line up and both lights turn green. Then, the radio will play a random set of messages. These messages will mention 4 items in the room. We need to use the black light to find hidden numbers on or near the items mentioned in the message. Again, this is random, so your items and numbers will be different from mine, but once we find our 4-number code, we can head all the way upstairs to Adler's room and use the code to unlock the safe, grabbing some money and a blueprint for our knife, and most importantly, popping an achievement.
A record played the sounds of a rocket launch. I was disappointed, wanting to see it on film. A record played the sounds of a rocket launch. I was disappointed, wanting to see it on film.
Our next challenge, Brutal Maneuvers, can be completed on any mission or basically just across our entire playthrough. We need to defeat 5 elite enemies with takedowns. Elite enemies exist throughout the campaign, but are more common toward the end of the story. They are denoted with a multi-sectioned health bar above their heads. To do a takedown, we first need to chip their health down to the final section of their health bar, and then we can run up and perform a takedown from behind or in front of them using the melee button. Our second safe can be found during the second half of the mission Blood Feud after the van ride. Unlike the one in the safe house, the rest of the safes are super simple to open. So just follow the path I take around the left side of the building and use the vents to find the room with the safe and the radio. We just need to interact with the radio to match the frequency, then enter whatever code the radio gives us on the safe to open it up. This code is random, so you likely won't have the same as me.
Got rats up there?
The only rat I see is standing in front of me.
Watch your mouth. Just because I say he likes your food doesn't mean you're bulletproof.
Zero, 7, 6, 1.
Case, I'm nearly in position. Get to the antechamber.
0, 7, 6, 1.
Near the end of Blood Feud, we can unlock the Stick Around challenge by grabbing a throwing knife off of an enemy or from some of the counters in this market, then take down the elite enemy's health at the end of the area so that he's basically one shot and finish him off with the throwing knife. There is a slow-mo animation of the last hit on this enemy, so if this animation triggers before using the knife, we can quickly reload the checkpoint to try again. Our third safe can be found on Most Wanted. After entering the fundraiser, turn right and sneakily enter the restricted area near the bar. Then continue around the back to find the radio and safe. Again, interact with the radio to correct the frequency, then use the random code to open the safe. Staying on Most Wanted, we need to complete 3 separate playthroughs following the 3 main paths of the mission to unlock the Retina Ready challenge. After talking to Sev, we get a map and can choose which path to take. We'll start with the Covert affair, so head over to the bar and talk to the senator's wife. Our conversation choices don't matter here, so choose whatever. Next, head into the auction room and use the camera to spy on the senator's aide. They will walk around the room, so we will need to follow them with the camera until their conversation ends.
Time to use the mic on that camera of yours. Act like you're taking pictures. Over there, that's the senator's aide. She and her mystery friend seem to be having a very serious conversation.
Return to the bar and sneakily steal the valet ticket from the guy standing next to the restricted area before heading outside to turn in the valet ticket for the car keys. Then follow the path that I take through the parking lot to find the car.
Last time I checked, we're in a recession.
Ticket? Cold night tonight. I wouldn't stay out there too long. Here you go, sir.
Now you just need to find that car. If those keys have a fob on them, maybe you can sound the horn.
Hey, the hell are you doing in my car?
Hey, a CIA security detail is headed your way. Lay low and get that tape to the senator's wife.
After searching the car, guards will be after us, so sneak to the back of the parking lot and slowly head back to the bar to speak with the senator's wife again.
Oh, the caipirinhas, a Brazilian drink.
Top me off, will you?
How about?
You again. Ugh. What now?
Finally, head to the auction room to see the conclusion of this path and get our first picture.
Never spend 60 grand on this thing. What? The senator isn't speaking to Preston.
Zoom in a little more.
That's all, dear. Run along. Thank you.
Our second path through Most Wanted will be the highest bidder, so head to the main stage and talk to the man here. Again, our conversation choices do not matter.
Such a beautiful place to spend the summer.
Excuse me.
Next, we need to hack into the auction computers, so use the restricted area to sneak behind the computers and access the files. Just be careful of any guards back here. There is a hacking minigame where we need to match the number and letter cipher to create a word. The solution will always be the senator's last name, McKenna.
Now just get your hands on that clock case. Shouldn't be hard to find. Only one place you can...
After hacking the computer, go to the auction room to find the clock and sneak behind the area, avoiding any guards to get behind the clock and access its hidden compartment.
I don't rightly know what that even is.
You'll need approach it from behind the curtains.
What do you think's on it?
Return to the man by the stage to give him what we found so he will help us get closer to the senator.
Am I missing property?
Finally, sneak through the restricted area at the far end of the fundraiser to enter a food court. We need to head to the final restaurant on the left side of the room to find the senator, getting our second picture and finishing this path.
Area's still restricted.
Hey, you're not allowed.
Welcome.
Who do you answer to? Someone's in deep shit.
You wanted to get close to McKenna? Here he is. Be quick. Me and him got things to discuss when you're done here. There we go.
How are you?
Everybody's happy now. A pleasure doing business with you.
You can't do this to me. Do you know who I am? I'm a
Our third and final path through Most Wanted is the Mystery Man, which we can start by sneaking into the coat rack and searching the coat I do for a note.
I'll distract the attendant. Look for a navy overcoat, gold buttons. I'll make sure you aren't interrupted.
Hello. Sorry, I was just... Oh, you want your coat?
No, I want to talk to you.
Hey, can I get that coat?
Oh, of course. One moment.
Lee Grisham, head of security for All Drain Energy. He's
With the note, head to the dance floor and look for the two men having a conversation in a nearby restricted area, then use the camera to ID the man in white.
This is in 84. It's been the same since. You walk away from a situation like that.
You found him. Lee Grisham, no?
Head behind the auction computers and follow the man we ID'd to take him out and steal his pager.
He just paged me a location.
Jackpot. Grab that pager case.
I'll head there momentarily. Just want him to sweat a while. Not a problem, sir. If we lean on him enough, he'll tip over.
The cloak and dagger is always so inconvenient. Give me a moment.
Now head to the far end of the fundraiser near the food court section and head through the restricted area to find the senator, completing this path and unlocking our challenge.
You're not Christian. Have a seat. Nice camera. You some kind of a reporter? So, what's your angle? Another corporate stooge. You guys just don't know when to quit. There is nothing your rich kids club can offer that I don't already have or can't get on my own. Are you fucking threatening me? How's this for a threat? Either your boss backs off, or I start backing every energy regulation bill that reaches my desk. Let's send this app home with a party favor to remember what we talked about tonight. Something ugly to look at in the mirror. Boys, he's all yours. Go!
Scan is good. Nice work, Case. Time to get to the roof. That's how we'll reach Adler.
Near the end of Most Wanted, we can get our first Dark Ops challenge for Phantom Presence, where we need to make it through the first section of the black site without alerting any enemies. Simply follow the path I do, taking out the same enemies I do, and this should pop once we exit through the keypad locked door on the other side of this area. If anyone does get alerted, quickly restart from the checkpoint and try again.
I'd avoid that main room if I were you.
What was it? Starting to get the picture yet? Don't hero. Copy that.
Hold your position, you've got company.
Back to work. Get that door open.
You're a ghost. Keep going. Heads up, I see a bunch of shit blocking the door ahead of you. Find a way around. I'll head to your position now. When you're on the other side, clear the barricade and let me through. Look for anything that could get you to the other side. Maintenance shafts, vents, whatever.
On the mission hunting season, we can get another Dark Ops challenge called Endless Options for blowing up the 4 SAM sites with anything other than C4. At the first SAM site, the game pretty much tells us to use the C4 laying nearby, but if we look around, we can actually find a rocket launcher and use that instead. Now just use the rocket launcher or any other powerful explosives/score streaks, as long as they aren't C4, to blow up the rest of the SAM sites, which are the main objective of the mission.
Copy that. Needle 1 inbound.
On the mission hunting season, we can also complete the challenge Insight Advancement for finding the 4 audio tapes at each of the 4 enemy encampments dotted around the map. After clearing the enemies in each camp, find the locked box and use a lockpick to open it. Inside will be some valuable loot and the audio recordings.
Mortar strike. Pantheon won't be needing that.
Well, that will disable a scud right proper.
Trials. Our 2 subjects, brothers. Patient A, injection. Try to...
Another cache. Nice work.
Day 3. We moved the brothers to the same lab, and they're restrained. Day 4. Patient A is deceased.
And finally, for the hunting season mission, we can find our 4th safe at this enemy encampment. After clearing out the enemies, head into the main building in the center to find a radio that we will need to tune, then use the random code it gives you to open the nearby safe.
Diesel 2-1 available for tasking.
Our 5th safe can be found on the mission The Cradle. Near the entrance of the compound, enter the left building and head upstairs to find a radio that needs to be tuned, then use the random code it gives you to open the safe embedded into the wall. On Emergence, we can work on the Collect Calls challenge after arriving in the facility. Our first phone call is required to progress the mission, so answer the phone at the front desk. There are a total of 5 phones to answer throughout the mission for this challenge. At the end of the yellow and green main hallway, we can find our second phone to answer along the yellow wall at the back.
That's you, Marshal? It's me. Finally. This place is
The staff was absolutely thrilled with the result.
Our 6th safe can be found on the mission Emergence in the laundry room down the red and blue main hallway. So follow the path I take to find the radio that needs to be tuned and use the random code on the nearby safe.
Cognitive research will be temporarily closed for upgrades the week of June 9th. Thank you.
After returning to the front desk, we can use our grapple hook to reach the upper floor on both the left and right sides of the room. There is a phone to answer on both sides of the upper floor.
I think Springer mentioned this already, but we're moving you to 24.
Our final phone for collect calls is required to progress the mission and is found toward the end after gaining access to the elevator and riding it up.
Remember your training, Case 1.
Our 7th safe can be found near the end of High Rollers. After reaching the vault under the casino, head to the elevator to find a radio to tune just to the left. Then use the random code to unlock the safe to the right.
7, 9, 6, 0.
Also near the end of High Rollers, before opening the vault, we need to collect and stow away some weapons to use in the next section. Make sure to only grab pistols from this room and stow them, as we need to defend the vault while only using pistols for the Double Down challenge. Keep in mind we can still use grenades and other throwable weapons.
Roll them again.
Our 8th safe can be found in the first area of the airport of the mission Ground Control. After clearing the room, cross to find the radio that needs to be tuned behind the front desk, and use the random code on the safe in the wall of the next room.
Case, let's get a move on.
On Ground Control, we can unlock the No Smoking challenge by defeating 10 enemies with the Dragon's Breath shotgun. This weapon is dropped by one of the elite enemies that rushes us when we enter the airport and try to progress. So after clearing the room, check the bodies to find this weapon, and then use it throughout the mission to take out enough enemies. You'll know you have the right shotgun as it shoots out fiery sparks. During the mission Under the Radar, we can get the Dark Ops challenge Missing Persons for hiding the bodies of 5 enemies. This mission requires us to use stealth to infiltrate this base, so after taking down any enemies, look for a nearby locker, then pick their body up and throw it into the locker. A locker can only hold one enemy body, so we can't reuse the same one, but luckily guards tend to hang out near lockers when they're indoors, making this super easy to unlock. Our 9th and final safe is found on Under the Radar. Head into the building across from the locked gate that we need to open to progress, and go upstairs to find the radio that needs to be tuned next to the stairs. The safe, though, is behind a gate that we will need to lockpick before we can enter the random code and open it, completing the Safe Cracker challenge and earning a bunch of cash along the way.
3, 4, 9, 4.
Continuing on Under the Radar, we can unlock the Keen Eye challenge by completing the 3 conversational opportunities on the map. These consist of approaching the guard marked on our map and talking to them. We will then be prompted to use Keen Eye to examine their desks to gain extra info, and then we need to choose the correct conversational options based on the info that we learn. So I will be showing the full conversations, as you can just copy my answers. For this first guy, we just need to successfully complete the conversation to finish his opportunity, but for the other 2 we will have to do some extra work, so I'll hop back in with commentary when we get there.
Was he more specific about what he wants?
Not surprising, I guess. First time I've ever handled one of those.
I'll just... For the helo in that SAM site. Whichever you want next.
Sure, but those things aren't ready yet. Well, if you're so in the know, what's the upgrade? Okay.
Not fair. I don't give a shit. Below zero's below
Hey there.
zero.
I need to load something onto the job.
No kidding. I owe a lot to him, but after my 5 years, I had to get out. No offense. Yeah, Angela and Christine. Of course, I wasn't built to be a father, and here I am. But enough about me. I should help you with that cargo you mentioned. Ah, typical. Well, I don't want to piss Betzer off again. I'll get things moving.
Maybe I could do something with that car.
After successfully completing the 3 conversations, we can turn around from the helicopter guard and plant some explosives on these boxes, then tell the forklift driver that the boxes are good to go.
Some C4 here. Set explosives on some cargo.
We good to get this shit loaded?
About time. Let's get to it.
With that done, we need to sneak into the restricted area of the camp to sabotage a warhead. Along the way, make sure to grab the wire cutters as I do, and just follow the path that I take. After completing this, we need to return to the SAM operator and let him know that things are all set, completing this challenge.
Exactly what I need for the missiles. This wiring could use a trim. Their missiles are compromised.
Good work. Now you need to get the guard to swap.
Well, look who's back. Well, okay then. I'll get those new warheads installed right away.
That's all.
The mission Checkmate is split into multiple sections, and throughout these sections we can work toward the Fatal Variety Challenge for getting 12 kills with 12 different weapons. There are a whole arsenal of weapons at the front and back walls of the safe house, and we can also pick up weapons off of our enemies. Basically, just get 1 kill with every weapon we can find, and keep swapping weapons until this unlocks. Just like Checkmate, the mission Separation Anxiety is split into multiple parts. Our final Dark Ops challenge and final campaign challenge, Keneticist, can be unlocked during the section Separation Anxiety Lies. I did all of these during my veteran playthrough, however for this challenge we will need to play on Recruit as we need to complete this obstacle course without being reset. That means we can't fall, can't get killed in any way, or let the timer reach 0. To do this, we need to ignore any weapons and the enemies and just run straight through the course, grabbing the grappling hook and just making a mad dash to the end. If we do reset, we can reset the checkpoint, however we will be forced to sit through the sequence that happens just before this. But with this challenge completed, that finishes every campaign challenge in Black Ops 6.
So what about your office?